Hey Sunflowers, I'm Lynnie with Sunflower Spirit Tarot, and this is going to be a love and romance reading, okay? The significant signs for today are Taurus, Aries, Scorpio, Pisces, and Aquarius, and Libra too. So if you don't have those signs in your chart, this reading could still resonate with you, but it's probably going to hit you a little bit harder if you do. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and become an official Sunflower. And to all of my returning Sunflowers, welcome back. Okay, I'm so happy to have you, and I'm honored for another opportunity to read for you. I hope that this message gives you comfort, confirmation, or clarity, whatever it is that you are seeking at this time. Let's just go ahead and jump right into it. I see you having a major change of heart, change of mind, change of perspective. Something is shifting for you because what you're realizing and what you're coming to understand is that the person that you have been committed to and in romantic relationship with and partnership with doesn't necessarily see you or appreciate you or respect you or take you seriously even. I'm not saying that this person is the worst person in the world. I'm not saying that they treat you bad. What I'm saying is like they don't give you the support that you need or take it seriously when you ask for support. You might have dealt with very specific challenges like internally, depression, anxiety, stress, all these sorts of things. And you are in a partnership with somebody, or you were recently in partnership with somebody who didn't take those things seriously. They honestly did not see, like, they didn't want the responsibility of those things. Okay. It looks like to me you're dealing with somebody who shirks responsibility at every opportunity. They just want to be a big ass kid. They don't ever want to really grow up. They might have Peter Pan syndrome. And for those of you who know what that means, they're just somebody who wants to be a kid. They don't want responsibilities. They might go to work and do these things and contribute to the household in certain ways. But it's like when it's time to do the emotional labor of the relationship, they're nowhere to be found. You can't rely on them or depend on them for emotional support. You can't rely on them or depend on them to, I don't know, support you and encourage you in the ways that matter the most to you. Okay. I just feel like you realized recently that you are going to be the one who had to make a choice. Okay. I just feel like even if you've told this person, like, hey, if you don't get it together, if you don't show up for me in the ways I need you to show up, then this is going to we're headed for divorce. Like, I will leave you. And this person's like, yeah, whatever you say. They don't, and that's what I mean by like they don't take you seriously. Like, you might threaten them a lot, like threaten to leave or threaten to end the relationship or threaten to move out or threaten blah 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 if they don't step up, if they don't change, if they don't, do the things that you're asking them to do. And every time you threaten them, they still don't step up, but you still stay. So this has conditioned this person to believe that no matter what you say, no matter what they do or don't do, no matter what's happening in your relationship, that you're always going to stick around because you love them that much. Whenever you've conditioned somebody to believe that you love them so much that you will never put yourself in a position to move on from them, then they think, what's the point of improving? What's the point of getting better? What's the point of trying? Because they're not going anywhere anyway. They're not going nowhere anyway. They say this all the time. They threaten me all the time. They're not going nowhere anyway. So why would I like take responsibility for my shortcomings in the relationship if they're going to be here anyway? We have to get out of this mindset that we have to give people 1,000 chances. And I'm not somebody, especially if you are like legally, legitimately married to this person, I'm not somebody who's ever going to really encourage you to leave without trying, without investing, without just doing the best that you can to improve the quality of the relationship before you decide like this isn't what I want, right? Because it's easy to say I want to leave when things are bad. It's easy to say I'm done, I want a divorce, I'm moving out when things are not working, when everybody's stressed out or you're unhappy or things like that. It's easy to break up when things are bad. And sometimes what is recommended is that you get things back to the best that they can be. And if you still want to leave, then leave. And I feel like things have been the best that they can be. Unfortunately, in your situation, I think that you're realizing that, right? You're realizing that this is the best it's ever going to get with this person because it doesn't matter how many times you threaten to leave, how many times you say you're gone, they're still behaving the same way, doing the same things, acting out, or just not stepping up. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like something for you really changed with this person and you realize that this is never going to be the kind of person that you can rely on or depend on. I see you suffering in silence a lot. I see you suffering in silence. Y'all may have had some recent financial troubles that caused a whole lot of stress, a whole lot of strain on the emotional part of your relationship to where to them, they don't really take anything seriously. So let's rewind that point because there's something coming through here about like they don't take you seriously, and maybe that upsets you, but they don't take anything seriously. I feel like I said, this person is just a big old kid. They don't want to grow up. They don't want to act like an adult. They don't want to have responsibilities or anything. So they don't really take anything seriously. So it looks to me like y'all might have had some financial issues or some financial struggles that really put a strain on you guys. And instead of like really addressing it, instead of honoring your feelings, instead of validating you, they just were like, no, it's not that big of a deal. We'll get over it. We'll just eat noodles every day. Like they're making a joke. Like I feel like this person tends to make jokes whenever they feel like they're being, I don't know, too like emotionally triggered. And I feel like that was probably something that you really liked about this person early on in your relationship, is that they were able to bring levity and lightness into any situation. And it's oftentimes the things that we love about the people that we love the most that turn into things that we cannot stand once we are ready to move on into another relationship, because you feel like, yeah, we started this relationship, you brought a lot of levity and lightness and happiness and laughter into my life, but now it's getting to the point where I need you to be a little bit more serious, and you're not being serious. You're treating everything like a joke. You're laughing all the time, you're joking all the time, and I'm not joking. Okay, that's how I feel that you're feeling right now. And maybe you've tried to communicate this with this person. I see you being a good communicator. I don't think that this is a situation in which you weren't vocal about your needs, where you weren't vocal about your pain, where you weren't vocal about what you needed from this relationship in order for this to continue. I see you talking things out. I see you attempting to anyway. And this person basically just being who they are, right? Honestly, I'm not going to say that the way that they are is a negative. I would just say that if you are looking for somebody who takes you and life itself a little bit more seriously, then it's not going to be this person. This person doesn't want to be serious. This person, I don't even think it's in their DNA, to be honest. I think that maybe it's a trauma response, maybe it's a defense mechanism. I'm not sure why this person acts this way, but what I will say is that they're not going to change. They are who they are. They're pretty settled in that, in their personality, and the way that they see the world and the way that they show up. They're pretty settled in who they are and what it is that they want out of life. And they don't want to be serious. They don't want to be bogged down. They don't want to think about the heavier emotions. They just want to be optimistic and free and not have responsibilities and run around and do whatever they want all day long. Let's clarify a little bit so I can get a little bit more information here. I want to talk about the hangman. Ooh, we have the Two of Swords. Yeah, you're shutting down emotionally from this person. I see that you don't necessarily feel as if they can offer you the emotional support and the love and all of that kind of stuff. So you're taking yours back too. You're shutting your heart down. You're saying no more. If I can't get my needs met in this relationship, neither will you, right? If you've recently separated from this person, broke up with this person, you're blocking them. I feel like you thought you could have everything you ever wanted with this person. This person was a part of your fantasy life. They were a part of your future where you thought everything was going to be happy and roses and everything. And then as soon as y'all hit a rough patch, you realize just how much their personality does not lend itself to being emotionally supportive. There are people who clown all day long, but when things get serious, they get serious. That's kind of what this person seems to be missing in your perspective. Let's clarify the High Priestess here. Like I said, I do see you suffering in silence a lot. When you're going through things, you don't even go to this person because you know that they're not going to take it seriously, or they're just going to tell you to like get over it. It's not that big of a deal. They trivialize, they minimize your feelings and your emotions very often. We have the Wheel of Fortune. You feel like it's time for a change. You understand that nothing changes if nothing changes. So if you continue staying in a relationship with somebody who is adamant about just being who they are and not becoming the partner that you're seeking, then something in you has to change as well. You have to stop being attracted to this person in the sense that, like, what I think maybe this is kind of a reflection of your type, right? You might have a type where you only date people, or you're only interested or attracted to people who are jokesters, who are clowns, who love attention, who might be a little bit obnoxious, who never take anything seriously, kind of a jackass, right? You're just somebody who's always trying to make people laugh and always trying to bring lightness and levity into the room, but then you don't realize how deep that actually goes. So something in you, I feel like, is shifting. You feel like you're learning your lesson. You understand that I think you're getting closer to understanding what it is that you really need in relationships. And if this isn't your type, then maybe you've been with really serious people in the past where they wouldn't lighten up and they couldn't just have a good time. And this person came in as a breath of fresh air. And the longer that you're in a relationship with this person, you realize that you need somebody who's a little bit more grounded. Let's talk about the Page of Pentacles. I do see this person offering some sort of half-hearted apology or some sort of half-hearted, reconciliation, or some sort of half-hearted, like, oh, I understand what you mean, or I understand how you feel and all these sort of things. But really their heart is not in it. they want to pursue you because part of them does like the chase. Part of them does like pursuing things that are not actively pursuing them back. Part of them does enjoy that. And I feel like you understand that this person is not really somebody who enjoys commitment. Once again, responsibility, especially coming up like this. They just want to go where the wind blows, and they remember a time where you were fun like that. So maybe what they're offering you is like, what they want to offer you is another opportunity to explore that, to open up, to be fun again. Okay. They wish you would just lighten up. They wish you would just be fun again. They wish that you could just let the problems go and enjoy your life. Like they just realize they feel like they wish you would realize it. It's not that deep. It's not that serious. But the more that they adopt this like mindset, and the more that you kind of stay stuck in yours, or both of you guys stay stuck in your mindsets and your perspectives, you're going to clash, and you're going to continue to close up from each other. This person has already kind of like realized that they might be missing an opportunity to like continue this relationship with you, or that they might be missing out on something because you meet so many of their needs. You're the responsible one. You're the one who's always taking care of things. And like I said, if this is not your type, if you're typically used to being with people who are a little bit more serious, this is a lot of work for you. This is a lot of responsibility for you, being in a relationship with somebody like this. And this, honestly, this relationship might have come into your life to teach you a lesson, because maybe you were the one who didn't take things seriously. Like maybe you were the one who was always like, I don't want responsibilities and all this kind of stuff. And maybe it's helping you become a little bit more balanced and understand a little bit more what your old or ex partners might have needed from you when you were the one who was probably in this energy of not taking anything seriously. And, you know, you might have a tendency to date younger people if this is your type. And now you're like, oh, I can't handle this anymore. Like, I'm kind of sick of this. Six of Swords. And why is the Six of Swords here? We have the Nine of Cups. Yeah, you're moving on. You're moving on. This, you know, you're going to separate yourself from this person. If you have not already, you're going to decide like, enough is enough. I'm ready to move on. I'm ready to be with somebody who takes me a little more seriously, or I'm ready just to take care of myself. Nine of Cups is talking about total emotional fulfillment of the self. I think there's a lot of healing here. Once again, this idea that maybe you brought this relationship into your life to help you learn something, to help you become a more well-rounded person. And I think at the end of the day, you are definitely taking the lesson. You're not taking it for granted. You're going to move forward in the way that you want to move forward for you, in the way that's best for you. And you're not going to, you know, become, you know, a slave to this situation. You understand now how to be more balanced, how to show up in a more balanced way, and how responsibility and discipline is an important part of life, is an important part of relationships, and a very important part when it comes to partnership. And so now that you're learning these lessons and integrating these lessons and understanding these things, you can move forward and go forward to have more healthy relationships, or to build partnerships with people who see partnership in the same way that you do. This is what I have for you guys. I hope that this was helpful or enlightening in some way. Like, share, comment, subscribe, all of that good stuff. And I will be with you next time.